You are now tuned into the DFPN, the Dat Feelin Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Smoke Pit. It's Friday night, come and take a load off. Come sit in the Smoke Pit, it's time for us to show off. It's been a long week, come relaxing, get some laughs in, and let's talk about these brackets. And while we at it, tell me whose man's is this? Cause I got questions, I'm hoping you can answer it. Get ready, cause you know we gon' talk a lot of shit. It's Mac and Makk, welcome to the Smoke Pit.
What up, everybody?
What up?
The Thursday. I know y'all were expecting us on Friday, but some things are coming up, so I'm gonna be out of pocket come Friday night. So we decided to come at y'all Thursday and give y'all a show. We didn't want y'all to go 2 weeks without something. So here we is, Mac and Makk. Y'all know how it go. And episode 52 of the Smoke Pit coming live on a Thursday. Appreciate whoever tuning in, whoever takes the time out to watch us. But tonight, we're going to start this off a little bit on a serious note. There's a lot of things going on. One particularly that we posted something in the chat about, or in the group on Facebook, and we got some comments. A lot of people expressing their feelings about it, but we'll get into that in a bit. But first, let's get these sponsors out the way. Shout out to the OG 3 sponsors, Plug Earbuds at gettheplugs.com, audioswim.com, and Premier Elements UAE. The Bandcamp still going strong. My man Mark Sox putting music out every Monday. We got E. Smitty, Clint Taylor doing their itis thing. They're dropping some singles on there. Keep an eye out for Mack's debut album. That'll be coming out on there as well. So check the Bandcamp out, datfeelin.bandcamp.com. Sign up for as low as $3. You'll also get some subscribers, exclusive joints on there as well. Obviously, we got the Patreon shout out to those who are supporting us in the Patreon. We're like 27, 28 members strong. Different tiers, $3, $10, different perks. So feel free to jump in there. We got ad-free podcasts, bonus content, a lot of stuff on the way coming. So patreon.com/datfeelin podcast. And of course, we got merch available at Teespring. The link is right there, datfeelin-podcast.creator-spring.com. Or you can just go to teespring.com and search Dat Feelin Podcast, and our store will pop up for you. Now that we've got that out the way, me and Mac both been having long weeks trying to build up the energy, but obviously this first topic is something that's
serious,
is near and dear to both of us. Mac, Black as a vet who was deployed in support of Operation Enduring Freedom over in Afghanistan. Myself, who has deployed both for OIF and OEF. And then we have a lot of vets in the group, a lot of active duty members in the group who have served, supported, and unfortunately, some of us have lost people who went over there to support that operation as well. So we want to start this off. First of all, for those who we lost in this 20-year campaign that we've had over there, let us go ahead and have a moment of silence for them real quick. Mm-hmm. And then we'll have our shot in honor of those who we lost. And then we'll get into it, man. How's that sound?
Sounds wonderful, bro. Let's do it.
All right. So everybody just join us real quick. Moment of silence. And here's a shot for those we lost and those who are missing. Hopefully you come back soon. And for those who have lost somebody, hopefully you get some kind of peace If not now, then somewhere later down the road. Here's to you guys. All right. So like we said, I shared a post in the group. Everybody was sharing their opinions. I sent an initial post kind of targeted towards those who served or deployed in support of this campaign. And we got some responses back. It got heated a little bit. People kind of disagreeing with different points of view and different opinions on what's going on. Off the bat, I just want to say everybody's entitled to their opinions / their feelings on this matter because it affects everybody differently. It's not going to be a standard agreement on how to react or how to respond or how to feel to what's happening over there. So I would just say in the group and tonight, if you're tuning in and you want to leave comments, or if you want to join the show and just, share your thoughts real quick, we'll be glad to have you on so you can talk about it and share your feelings. But I will say, treat everybody's opinion with respect. Everybody is feeling some kind of way about this, a different way. So we don't want to turn this into a one-sided, a heated debate, us calling people out, so forth and so on. I want to kind of make this a thing to where people can come and get some things off their chest and talk to like-minded people. So hopefully that's how this will go tonight. So if you want to join, just let us know in the comments. We'll send you the link so you can jump in here and give your thoughts on what's going on. Shout out to Timothy Gordon tuned in, man. Salute and highest of respect. Same to you, man. I know you served in the Army, man. I appreciate everything you've done. Served honorably, got out. Hope everything's going well with you. I know you got surgery coming up, man. So keep yourself safe, and we'll check in with you later, man. Tim is a good dude, man. He helps us out. Actually, we are helping them out over on Saturday Night Nerds. Great podcast. If you haven't checked it out, please do that. Join the group, all that stuff. So I'm gonna open the floor to you. I've been talking for a minute, man. So just what are your feelings once you saw what was going on, and obviously you've seen the videos on the news. I mean, it's some really, really shocking videos and graphic clips that we've seen the first few days of this. How are you feeling about it? And what are your thoughts, man? Having served and supported that and deploying over there, man.
So being a part of that mission, it's really something. It stirs up something in me, right? So as someone that has supported that mission and contributed to that mission, it makes you feel like, and I'm just speaking as a vet, right? It makes you feel like all the work that you did there was kind of wasted. You know what I mean? Like there was a lot of shitty days spent in that area of the world for a lot of people. And I want to address that first. So for anybody who feels like that, like I'm sorry for it. You know what I mean? Like, cause nobody else gonna say that shit. Like we've lost people. Some people didn't come home, or if they did come home, they didn't come home the same way they left. You know what I mean? And that's across the board. It makes you feel it's kind of like a slap in the face. If you've supported that mission, it feels like it's a slap in the face. And only the people that have gone there and have lost people would know what that shit feels like. That's just like, you know what I mean? Like if you go somewhere and like you lose somebody and you come back and they're like, fuck it, we're just gonna take everybody out. And then like the reason you went over there is taking over the whole country. You know what I mean? Like That's why the fuck we went over there. You know what I mean? Because they told us, hey, you're going to fight these people. These people are very bad people. You're the good guys, so you need to go fight. So as a veteran, I can very much see it as a slap in the face, especially if you deployed there. It can feel like a slap in the face. And then reluctantly, I look at it from a different standpoint, which I try to look at all things from two different sides. Right. On the other side of this coin, last year, a peace deal was signed with the Taliban. Right. So there was a peace deal signed. The Taliban has now taken over Afghanistan, and you have a peace agreement between the United States and the Taliban, who's taken over Afghanistan. You know what I mean? Like, at that moment, it's kind of like, well, what the fuck do? You have a peace deal with these guys. You know what I mean? So you can't really break that peace deal unless we just gonna go back to war, and that defeats the whole fucking purpose of everything. You know what I mean? Like, what do you do in this standpoint? And my answer is, I don't know. I really don't know. You know what I mean? So trying to understand it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. And seeing the carnage that has taken place in the immediate days, like when they took over Kabul, like seeing people clinging to a US C-17, clinging to that bitch for dear life, and some people falling from thousands of feet in the air because they just can't hold on anymore. You know what I mean? Like, that's sad. It's incredibly sad. Like, it's disheartening. You know what I mean? It's really disheartening because now and I hate to say it, and I don't know how to say this shit and not sound like I'm being unpatriotic. Like, we're fucked up for that shit. You know what I mean? Like, we're really fucked up for that shit. But we did train Afghanistan to fight and defend their own, and they're not doing it. You know what I mean? So, like, the whole shit is just it's mind-boggling, bro. It's like it's crazy. It's a crazy thing to see. And what do? Like, are we going to go back over there and fight for them? The president has already said no because they don't want to fight for it themselves. So what do? Do you just let the whole shit burn? And at this point, the answer is yes. You probably have to let the shit burn because you've trained the whole country to run in a democratic way. Not democratic the party, but like democracy. You taught them democracy. You taught them to vote, and the shit just went down the drain. All of it really is it's disheartening. You know, I hate to say it like that, but it is.
Before I go, shout out to CJ for tuning in. He asked a question. I'll let you answer. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you may have been sent there for the wrong reason in the first place? And he follows that up with, he's just coming from a place of trying to gain understanding of everything from your perspective.
Do I feel like we were sent there for the wrong reasons in the first place? Well, I could say now. I could say now, probably not. But everybody in the military is conditioned to, if you're given an order, you follow that shit, bro. You follow it. You're fighting for your country. That's what you're doing in that moment. Now, how I felt then is I'm following the order. I can't care too much on what the fuck else is going on. You know what I mean? I can't put that type of energy there. I just have to do my job and do it to the best of my ability. You know what I mean? And maybe now looking at it, I can say, were we sent there for the wrong reasons? Probably not. The reason I say probably not is because September 11th happened. They got the intel that somebody in Afghanistan was behind this shit. We need to eradicate it. At that time, maybe it was the right reason. Now, if you look at where they killed the person supposedly behind the whole shit, I think we might have been in the wrong country. We should have been over in Pakistan. You know what I mean? Like we should have been fighting that because that's where they're harboring it. I don't know. That the answer to that is I'm following the order. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing my job. I'm doing it to the best of my ability. You could say we went anywhere in the world and it might have been the wrong call, but the people there was just following the orders. You know what I mean? Like, so how you feel about it is how you feel about it ultimately.
Yeah. I'm hurt. I felt, and it sounds bad, but in essence, it's the truth. When we were so-called done in Iraq, and we left out of Iraq, and things did what they did in Iraq, I felt some kind of way because I lost during the deployment. We lost a member of the squad, Patrick Griffin, Sergeant Patrick Griffin. We lost him on the convoy up to Baghdad, and I too was like you. I was first deployment A1C, been in for about a year and a half, and I'm over there giving it my all, man, giving it my all, thinking that what we were doing was right. Right. I felt like we were over there actually freeing a country from a dictator and giving a country an opportunity to grow and become great, be led by its people, decisions made by its people as a whole instead of one person. And then to see it not, I mean, even after we captured Saddam, because we caught him while our unit was over there. So I'm thinking like, boom, we beat the game.
Let's go home.
Just all, now it's all helping them get there on their feet and we can bounce. And that wasn't the case. Same thing in Afghanistan. Our reason for going over there was to find bin Laden, the dude behind the 9/11 attacks, which in a few weeks will be remembering the
20 years,
the attacks 20 years ago. And everything you said was totally 100% true. 2 decades of training, sharing tactics, equipping, defending, all of that stuff, like all the work we put in to get this country ready to defend itself. And the way we pulled out, it's hard for me to say in this position because where I'm at, I'm not there to make these kind of decisions.
Right.
But I understand after 20 years, we keep sending people over. The amount of people we send over is not equivalent to the amount of people we bring back.
Yep.
It's a deficit every time we send lives over there. Some of them don't come back. And I understand you raise your right hand, you join, you give away some of your rights to protect the rights of others.
Yep.
So, I mean, the whole, well, that's what they signed up for. I don't see a whole lot of people saying that, which I appreciate because that would be some really foul stuff to say at this time.
Yeah, it would.
But you have to look at it like 20 years, over 3,000 service members, deceased, missing. Like you have to bring us back because it's just going to continue to be We go over there. People will pass away. We come back. Like you said, some people come back, they see things that change them.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that when we got back from Iraq. A few of the members we deployed with had to get out. Mental health. There's some things that they've seen that they cannot recover from. So I agree with pulling everybody out. The exit strategy we had, if you want to call it a strategy, probably not the best. But again, that's not where I'm at. But I can empathize with those that say it was all for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you really look at the history of us as America trying to be world police, trying to, in a sense, it looks like we go over there and we're just like trying to instill the American idealisms in countries that really probably don't want the idealisms. Because if they did, I think they would fight a little bit harder for them.
Yeah.
I think Afghanistan was probably thinking we ain't going nowhere for a while, so their military was kind of laid back like the U.S. has it. Almost like in Korea, like we go over there and help them out. And you've been over in Korea, and you know that military ain't ready to handle anything violent. I mean, every time I go there, I mean, they're a little bit better, but you look up to the North Korea is breeding soldiers, warriors, people who are indoctrinated with we're right, U.S. bad, and they willing to do what it takes to get that to win. Vietnam, we tried to go over there and throw democracy there. We left. What happened? You know, Vietnam's like, nah, bro, we got this. North Vietnam came in and did their thing. Now it's what it is. I mean, it's not as bad as it was, but it was a total L. You look at World War II. Yeah, we won, but I mean, I think the peace is only really there because we got bases. Like the fact that the United States is the only country who have military presence in other countries. Is saying something, you know, and it's like, oh, we're just postured to respond to different things. It's like, it's kind of like we throw in fear, like, don't try nothing because we here, you know, right. And I think that in a sense has weakened the military posture of a lot of countries because they're like, oh, the US is here. You know, I know NATO's a whole thing, but if we're going to be honest, like we're footing the bill for a lot of that stuff. Like when you look at the personnel in OEF, we're in the hundreds of thousands of people there. Other countries will send hundreds. You know, it's like we are footing the bill for a lot of this stuff. And it's a sad thing. And like, as I sit back, this is just Willie talking. I feel America should probably tend to mind its business more. I get it. We got attacked. We found those who attacked us. We eliminated the people who were responsible for said attacks.
Yep.
And then we should just come back and be like, bam, all right, let's do better so that this won't happen again. Let's increase security at airports. Let's do all this other stuff to ensure that this cannot happen again. And I think that's where we should have left it off at. But
I agree.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna send because Tim said he wants to get in, so I'm gonna try and get him the link. But if you want to scroll up and look at some of these comments that I know they were populating in here, I wasn't really paying attention. Kind of talk to them for a bit.
Yep. So CJ Reed says, in reality, there are some things that are America way that are pretty fucked up too. And you got a point there. Speaking to the whole mind its own business thing, like we're out there and we're policing the world, and right now we're not even policing ourselves because we got some pretty fucked up shit going on here too. You know what I mean? So maybe we should govern ourselves a little bit better. Shantae Young says, Truth is, lives lost, blood shed, mental and physical scars. My family was affected. Plenty of people made money from it all. This is our generation's Vietnam, except we get mental and financial support. Nation building and occupation is not what we signed up for. Tim said it's always easy to coach results. What else we got? Francisco DC. What up, Frank? All intel points to Saudi Arabia as a real country behind the 9/11 attacks. I don't know if that's really been confirmed, but I know for a while they were saying that. We won World War II, but immediately went into a Cold War, which may or may not still be happening to this day. When Iraq started in 2003, I knew it was going to turn into another Vietnam. And that's the thing. That's the thing, right? So we can always compare. We can always compare like what we're going through to something else, right? So yeah, a lot of people lives lost, and we're talking about 20 years of this shit, bro. Like 20 years of being in that country, and a lot of people aren't the same. Like PTSD is at a high right now, and it sucks, man. It really sucks. So for those who lost people and didn't come back the same mentally, my heart goes out to y'all. You know what I mean? Like I know for me personally, when I found out that they had the US had left Kabul and they just left, you know what I mean? Like no announcement, no nothing. They just left. I was like, this is not gonna be good. Like that day, I was like, this is not gonna be good. And I was pretty much waiting for what eventually happened, bro. Like this is not gonna end well at all. Cause the bases are empty, no one's occupying it. Like there's few US presence there. And that day I was just like, this is really bad. This is really fucking bad. Cause no Afghan presence at those bases when they could have been occupying them, right? And there should have been a handover. Like for everybody that's deployed, you know what a handover is. There should have been a handover to that country. Like, here, y'all take it. Y'all got the reins. We supported y'all. Y'all know how to run the mission. Like, at least a year in advance. Like, give them a year to set up, run it the way and then you just gradually reduce your presence. But in that sense, I felt like that day I was just like, this shit's fucked, bro. It's all the way fucked. And what I thought happened. Taliban came right in that shit.
I posted the link in the comments to join the stream. So if you want to join, feel free to click that link. Like I said, we'll let you in. Give you a couple minutes, share your thoughts. But Brian brings up a good point. I think the toughest part about that is there wasn't a organized military that we were going after. You're just fighting people who are upset that we are in the country. When you're fighting people whose cause is a religious cause, you're never going to really win that war because that is their religious belief.
Right.
You can't beat the faith and their beliefs out of them like that. They'll retreat, they'll go into hiding, but that belief
they ain't going away.
Exactly. That's still going to be there. So when you're sitting there trying to, and Shantae said it perfectly, fighting in ideology, you cannot win. You can't win that because it's always going to be there.
Yep.
I feel another reason why when it gets into situations where you are trying to fight an organization rather than a military, as America, I feel like we and probably a handful of other countries are the only ones who abide by the rules, the Geneva Convention,
Right.
all of that.
Nobody
so it
else
puts
does.
us at a disadvantage.
Right.
When
Nobody
we're
we fight abides by that shit.
Who just completely disregard that. When you are sending women and children into crowded areas with bombs strapped to them,
Strapped on them.
what can you do? What can you do? Shout out to Goonie who's tuning in. Appreciate you, man. He says, I think I felt about every emotion a person can feel. We needed to get out. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, bring it up. We needed to get out, but after such a long occupation, it had to be handled delicately. I feel very strongly for the servicemen and women that tried their hardest in every aspect. Never forget that systematic rape of children was reported by service members, and it was immediately rebuked as culturally acceptable. And I mean that's the hardest part when you're fighting I forget, I'm trying to remember, but when you're fighting a war that does not have, clear targets like a beginning and an end, because every time you take out one leader, body is right there to come right back up and be like, hey, we continue in this fight. They were prepared to play the long game, which it sounds weird because 20 years you would think that's a pretty long game. But they're not going anywhere. They're not going where that is their country. They look at it as holy ground, their birthright to this country. And us invading, how they looked at it, is not going to they're not going to have it. We saw it in Iraq, and unfortunately that's the same thing that's happening over there. 20 years, and I mean Desert Storm, all of that stuff. Like, we've been in Iraq trying to change that culture, didn't work. Tried it in Afghanistan, didn't work. Vietnam didn't work. It's just a sad thing. And like I said, I understand people who are like, what was it for? Like some people, and we got Tim here. I'll bring him up in a bit, but we have people who say, and I mean, they're not wrong looking at the good, trying to find a silver lining. Hey, there are some people who are able to get out during that time, find refuge in other countries, be able to live a better life, all of that stuff. And that's true. There were some that benefited from what we did over there. They were able to get out, do some things, have a better life. But my heart goes to those who, the young adults and the kids who were born while we were occupying, who had this false sense of everything is going to be okay. And then now we just pull the rug out from under them, They go from, hey, things look like it can be better, to all of a sudden, now now this is happening again. Now, like Goonie said, the raping of women, the mistreatment of women, children, everything is just back to square one for them when they thought, America the Savior was going to come through and save things. But let me go ahead and bring Timothy Gordon on here, man. What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? I really appreciate y'all. Like, this subject is a bit of a sore spot for me, especially being a veteran myself. And not sore spot as far as politics, coaching results, things of that sort. I feel like everybody's entitled to their opinions in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to overstep my boundaries, especially for this podcast and how it operates, So I definitely want to be respectful.
Okay.
But the sore spot for me comes in from non-vets, where all these non-veterans always have something to say. All these people who've never served a day in their life or even thought about it, or maybe the people who have thought about it but couldn't. Whatever your case may be, all these opinions surrounding these situations are only from your couch in front of your television. Even myself, having served, I didn't get deployed. I wasn't actually deployed, particularly, but I did serve. So I do know the lifestyle. I do know what orders look like. I do know what it would have taken if I got deployed.
Right.
There's preparation for things like that. I mean, like the actual company I was assigned to was constantly preparing to get deployed, but there was always a reason why we couldn't. But at any rate, my whole thing is this: when veterans talk about how they feel about the situation, regardless of whether it aligns with your views or not, if you're not a veteran, you have no right to speak.
I understand.
Everybody is entitled to, I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinions, but it doesn't mean it's valid.
Right.
Until you can live the life that veterans have lived, whether you've been deployed or not, whether you've had tragic losses or not, whether it doesn't, either way, it doesn't matter. It's a different lifestyle when you're in the military. So to try to speak on issues containing, weight such as this is a whole different, it's a whole different conversation. It's a whole different ballpark. So when you get veterans together and they start speaking about it and their opinions, at least everyone's opinion can be heard and respected.
Right.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what side you're on. Like all three of us could all disagree on different points, but we will all hold each other very respectfully because we understand that life. We know that life. We know what it takes to be prepared for that life. In a sense, not all of us have gone through that, those particular situations and circumstances, but we understand what it could have been. So for people to have an opinion, especially on a post, especially those who are not veterans and could not, and who've never ever served a day in their life, it really, really, really bothers me. I'd say, hey man, look, for those who are non-veterans, like if you really have an issue, you need to talk to your congressman. You need to talk to your, your governor, your senators, whoever it is. You need to sign petitions to, make it before the Supreme Court. If you don't like these decisions, like talk to the person in charge, the person who's giving out all the orders that come down. Because as service members, we don't have a choice. Once orders get drawn up, that's it. It doesn't matter what the end result is. It doesn't matter what's quote unquote accomplished or not accomplished. It doesn't matter. We have a job to do, and we have to do that job. And that's period. And that's whether we respect our, superiors or not. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we have a job to do. We have a mission to accomplish. I can't really particularly speak on the Air Force. Of course, everybody, have been in their own respective branches. We all joke on each other constantly. But something I know about the Army specifically is that, they always put the mission first before the person. They'll put the mission way before a person. People don't matter because people are numbers. The mission is all that matters. So when we talk about, hey, we were over there to, somebody attacked U.S. soil and we was over there just trying to find homie, and we found homie, and we did what we did. We should have just jetted. Either way, it doesn't matter. Like, at least according to veterans, according to people who are actually service members, because it don't matter what the end result was. What does my order say? Well, that's what I got to execute. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only sore spot. I get it. Everybody will have an opinion about the end result. What's been happening is a tragedy. I can't imagine. I mean, like, I can't fathom a person so desperate that they would try to cling onto a military aircraft while it's taking off. That's wild to me. That's more than desperate.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I mean? That's more than desperate. And my heart goes out to all those people. Definitely. 100%. But that's my own opinion.
Right.
And I get people who feel for those guys, and I get people who think that America has the resources and can interject. But at the end of the day, we've interjected for 20 years. We've done what we've had to do for 20 years. Don't talk to, at the end of the day, if a veteran posts something and you disagree with it, just respectfully let them have their opinion. If you're a veteran and you disagree with it, at least you have, they'll at least approach those people with, a mutual respect. And I say that only because, there's no balance. There's no scale of who's gone through worse and who's, been through what and what have you. A lot of the times, most service members don't even want to talk about it. There's, it's not something they want to relive, in a sense. So, I just advise people, especially non-veterans, to at least, at minimum, take into account that this isn't a easy subject to literally just throw your opinions around because you hear whatever it is you hear on the news, because you see whatever it is you see on the blogs, or wherever it is you get your information from. Know that a lot of these guys have been through a lot of things, and a lot of these guys believe because they have to. They have to. Sometimes, for some service members, there is no other option but to believe in the orders that they're given. There's no other option. You know what I mean? Because if they don't believe in what's given to them, then you know what I mean? I don't have to explain to you guys. You both know very well. That's my only sore spot about this entire conversation, man. I just don't like all the opinions just running around, especially from those who, not even especially, just from those who are not veterans.
So I gotta
bring awareness
question for you, Tim. CJ asked, he says he's never personally served in the military, but like I know him, and his mom served, his dad served, brother served. So he's asking, how do people like him contribute to the conversation without upsetting veterans like yourself?
Contributing to a conversation is one thing, but living an experience is different. I know a lot of people will consider that anecdotal, but it's very interesting because, like I stated before, regardless, it doesn't matter what branch of service you've served in. We all have a common ground. No matter how much we diss each other, in a sense, it's all love regardless. We all know we need each other anyway, in some way, form, or fashion. We all have a job to do. But it's almost like, well, I don't even want to get into that. At the end of the day, the military is a different, it's a different structure. And until you've actually experienced that, regardless of who in your family was in the military, I'm not trying to disrespect or say that you can't contribute to the conversation, but something that I like that CJ has been doing throughout this entire chat and throughout this entire podcast was that he's been asking questions to gain more understanding.
To get understanding.
That's different. Yeah, that's different than just passing your own opinion off based off of the news, articles and the blogs that you've read, or whatever your homie said on his timeline that sounded good.
Right.
That's a lot. That's totally different. Contributing to the conversation as a non-veteran is a little. I mean, I guess it can be a little different. But like I said, as a non-veteran, in my opinion, I feel like if you guys feel so strongly about your opinions and whatnot, gather all your non-veteran friends or veteran friends that agree with you, whichever the case may be. Write letters, write petitions. Gain the attention of your local leaders that can gain the attention of the higher ups. Eventually hoping to get to the president. I don't know how that. I mean, I do know how it works, but most people don't take that route because they don't think they'll be heard. But at the end of the day, take that route. Take that route. But don't just. What I'm trying to say is, like, don't discredit a veteran's words, regardless of what your views are, and regardless of what that veteran's views are. And that's only because you have no idea the perspective these guys have. I mean, we all have served, and there are a lot of veterans that have the complete opposite views of what we all have. And trust me, believe me, I will never oppose those guys. Never.
Right.
I just wouldn't. I'm not going to argue that. I'm not going to argue against it. Everybody, I mean, at this rate, like I said before, it's very easy to coach results. We're here now. And it's easy for people like, oh, yeah, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, we should have never left. Like, all right, like, 20 years? Like, you know what I'm saying? How long did you stay with your mom and dad?
Right.
How long did it take you to learn, you see what I'm saying? Well, this is a whole nation, though. This is different. Like, sure, it is. But how are we supposed to expect any different?
If you think about it, when that war kicked off, there were people who are serving in that war now who were not born.
Not even born. Exactly. Not even born.
People are over there in Afghanistan who were not born when 9/11 happened. So people are telling them, yeah, this is why we're over here. These planes did this. Like, oh, man, I saw that on History Channel, Discovery. They didn't see it live. That is how long we have been over there. Yep. And here's where I'm at when it comes to the non-veterans or the civilians who have not served. The ones that really get me going and upset is when it happened. America was just big. USA. You're my brother. You're my brother. We're America. We can do this together. It was big. Go get them, guys. Go get them, guys. Right. Energy from a lot of people who are not raising their right hand to go get them with us. Go get them, guys. Give them hell. And let me just throw this disclaimer out. I appreciate those who thank us for our service, who like I like some of the perks of being discounts, all that stuff, but there comes a point where 10% discount at Foot Locker is not worth another deployment to a potential hostile zone.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
The facts.
So I appreciate all the thank you for your services and stuff, but this real get behind America, go get them. I'm not a big fan of that, of everybody beating their chest, pressuring politicians to act and send people into harm's way, because in my mind, I'm thinking they don't want to upset voters. They're looking at polls. America wants us to go get the guy. We should go get him, because if we say no, they're going to be like, oh, y'all are weak. And then next re-election, somebody's going to be like, I know how to get these guys on my side. I'm going to send the military out.
We're going to war. Yep, we're going to war.
The people making the decision to send us in harm's way are not going into harm's way. So it's real easy.
Exactly.
I'm not saying, because I'm pretty sure it weighs on them to be like, bro, I'm about to send hundreds of thousands of people into harm's way. Like I'm
young men and women.
Believe that is not an easy decision for those people to make, but they make it, and we come back, and the people who are not raising their hand to serve have something to say. I felt that way when Colin Kaepernick was kneeling. They're like, that's disrespectful to the men and women of the armed forces. And as a man of the armed forces, I'm like, let my man kneel. That's his right.
This the type of shit I like fighting for.
Oh, you know, they like to speak on our behalves like we don't have voices.
Right.
I appreciate you backing us and being so gun-ho, like America, America, thank you for your service. But at some point, you should just know your lane is all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Know your lane, my guy and lady, my girl, whatever. But yeah, well, oh, go ahead. You had something for Tim? Because I was going to let him go and see.
No, I was going to say, President Biden said something during that speech that pretty much a lot of people had problems with that I really appreciated. And he asked a very simple question. He was like, how many more of America's sons and daughters should we send over there to fight and possibly die for a war in a country that their people aren't willing to fight for? I appreciated the fuck out of that statement. Like, that was a bold ass statement. That was a bold ass statement, because him saying I'm not going to put my troops in a dangerous situation that the people in their own country ain't willing to fight for. I appreciated the fuck out of it. That was the key part of that whole fucking speech for me, because I was like, maybe he has Alzheimer's, but he gets this part of the shit. I appreciate the fuck out of you for saying that. So if I took anything away from that, it was that he didn't feel comfortable sending people over there to fight for that shit. You know what I mean? So that was my whole take on it.
All right, man. Hey, Tim, I appreciate you jumping on, bro. Hope everything's good on your end. Again, thank you for your service, my guy. And I'm trying to catch up on One Piece, bro. I'm trying to get like you and you, Emperor, and Deontay over there. I want to jump in on them combos, my guy.
I just started watching it.
But I'll get there.
Hey, man, salute to both of you guys. Thank you both for your service. This conversation was honestly great. I really appreciate you guys for letting me on here. Just talking,
yes, sir.
Me as a nobody, opinion.
All good, fam. Appreciate you, bro.
Yes,
Be
sir.
easy, man.
All right.
Peace.
Hey, big up, man. I appreciate old boy jumping in here. If anybody else wants to jump in and share their thoughts on it, man, let us know. We'll put the link back down in there, and then we'll let you come in and share your thoughts. But there was a comment in here. I want to get your thoughts on it, Black, by Danielle Swanson. Shout out to you, Danielle. She says, that's why I think politicians that have influence over the military should be required to serve time in it. How do you feel about that? Like the possibility of having a prerequisite for elected officials to have served in the military. What do you think about that?
I think if they're going to run a department like the Department of Defense, I think you should have a military background. I think you definitely should have a military background, because you're making decisions for these people to go fight. And if you really don't know what that shit is about, then you're making a decision. You're making a decision for thousands of lives and hundreds of thousands of lives, and possibly tens of thousands of those lives won't be around if you make that decision. You know what I mean? Like, it's a delicate balance. So I definitely think, like, if you're going to be running one of those departments, you definitely should have a military background. That way, if the president doesn't have a military background and he's ultimately the one that's making those calls, like your ear is the most important when it comes to that call. You know what I'm saying? Like you have that much influence. And I think, and more so, not just a military background, like a tactical military background, if that makes any sense. Because I would, we're going to put ourselves in a war situation, and you don't know anything about tactics, it's not going to serve us if we have to follow those orders. We're just doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Which we possibly found ourselves in a couple of those situations because those people didn't have those types of background. But I would be definitely appreciative if they did, because ultimately they have our best interests at heart, right? Case in point, Mad Dog. Him and Trump butted heads a lot because he had a military background and he knew, like, I'm not just going to put my troops in that situation. Ultimately fired because he wouldn't do that shit. But I appreciate it. I appreciated him butting heads like that because he has influence over hundreds of thousands of lives. So I would expect that for somebody that's going to run one of these departments. What about you?
To not get too political, I understand why, and it comes with, I guess, low-key kind of checks and balances. You don't want all these military-affiliated people running the country because that kind of makes it like the military is running the country, right?
Right.
and we don't want that. But and this is just wishful thinking, and I think in the grand scheme of things, this was the idea of what, you know, the people who created the processes wanted, is that politics would not become what it is today, where a lot of things are based and decisions are made based off of just being reelected and looking at approval ratings. A lot of this stuff that is forcing the military into these weird positions, questionable positions, looking at it from civilians who look at what the military is doing, like, why are we over there? Why are we doing this? This goes way back to, like, you remember Vietnam, like, it was so bad to the point where, like, people were coming back and non-military people were not welcoming them back, like calling them baby killers, things like that.
Right.
Like, the people in the military had no choice. They had to follow these orders or punishment was coming. So they go and do their 4 years. They are getting drafted. They're not even swearing in. They're just like, bam, bam, bam. Your number came up. Suit up. Let's go. They come back guard and everything. They're just like, why are we over there? Why is this? Why is that? Blah, blah, blah. These politicians now are in the mindset of career politicians. They want to do everything to keep their party, their constituents happy. And if their constituents are real, we need to go get this guy, they'll do a poll. 80% of your people think we should go to war. You should support
let's go to war.
Try to push this. And he's just like, well, if that's what they want, that's what I'm going to give them. And I mean, it sucks because in essence, they're there to serve the people. So if your people are saying, hey, we voted you in, this is what we want, 9 times out of 9, they're going to go ahead and do that. It's going to take a brave person to be like, maybe this ain't the best idea, you know. And the fact that it is very, I don't know. I know for me, I'm never a big component of let's go to war because it's kind of selfish. I don't want a higher possibility of leaving my family to put myself in a position where I may not come back to my family. I know that's what I signed up for. So if if they say, hey, Mac, pack your bags, let's go, I gotta go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If they want me to do some shit, I'm gonna do the shit that I'm ordered to do. But I'm not raising my hand to go. I want to say most of the time it's probably not the military people who are saying I'm ready. I mean, there's some gun-ho cats out there. Don't get me wrong. They just like,
oh hell yeah,
put me in the fucking game. Put me in the game. It's like, hey, have at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll go if they tell me to. I'm not going to volunteer to go. You know, that's where I'm at. So I feel like the civilian population of America is a big driving force of pressuring politicians to get us involved in some stuff that we probably should not be involved in.
True.
And then there's probably some other underhanded, you know, the rumors of, hey, we only in Iraq for that oil, you know, and the reason our reason to get over there is we gonna say, oh, there's weapons of mass destruction over there. We go over there for decades, my guy. How many weapons of mass destruction did we find? That's all I'm gonna say.
Not a goddamn one.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Not a goddamn one.
You know what I'm saying? We got Saddam. He was a dictator. Good. But I mean, is that country better for it?
No.
We got Bin Laden. I mean, is that country better for it? Like, there's never been a war we have fought, freed a country, and bounced from. And that country was just like, we're all good. Like, you'll look at World War II and stuff, Korea, like, we're still over in Europe. We're still over in Korea. You know, it's never a get in, change the ideal out, you know, and bounce. Change your beliefs. Hey, democracy is cool. Try it. We out. Like, it's always a huge investment on our part. Trillions of dollars. Trillions of dollars invested in these things, these campaigns, lives, equipment, just all this stuff. Just and this is the result. And it's so sad. Like Tim said, imagine how bad it is where you live, where you are hanging onto a plane thousands of feet in the air because in your mind, this risk that I am taking holding on to this plane
is worth it. It's better than being on the ground.
Staying on the ground in this country.
It's better than being on the ground. Yeah.
So bad. I'm like, what did we do here? And I mean, it's a discussion that's happening in squadrons and units out here because everybody feels some type of way and everybody has the right to feel some type of way. Mm-hmm. The biggest thing is to do what we're doing here and just talking about it, getting it out, and being able to understand why people feel the way they feel without judging, throwing aspirations and stuff like that's, you know, why are you thinking that? Like, it messed up this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Mac Black had a podcast called Dialogue, and I feel like that alone, if people would just take the time to have dialogue, have conversations, and sit down and listen, not just talk, but listen and try to understand and see things from other people's point of views. So many problems that we are having in the world, if not this country, can be, you know, resolved. And I feel this is something that can move up to politics, people who make those decisions, like sit down and think of other ways outside, like diplomatic reasons, diplomatic ways. Instead of rally the troops, let's go in. Sometimes that may be necessary. I'm not saying never send people, never deploy, never do anything. But sometimes it's just like, all right, I'm going to send my dudes in. This is our end goal. And then we're going to be out.
Right.
And then let that, you know, but CJ says the way I'm describing it sounds like we're a country that was built on colonization, looking to colonize other countries. I wouldn't say colonize. I wouldn't say colonize because I don't think we're trying to stay. I think we're just trying to. I'm gonna be careful how I say this.
I'm gonna give you a military term, right? A military term. I heard it every time I deployed. Hearts and minds. That's what you're trying to reach. Hearts and minds. You're not trying to take over the shit. You're just trying to get into the hearts and minds of the people in that country so that they don't have to live like they've been living. Is that colonization? I'll let you be the judge of that.
It's, you remember, I mean, everybody should know, like the empires of like the early ADs, Roman Empire, Greek Empire, the Spanish Crusades. These were people trying to spread their ideas and beliefs to other countries.
Yep.
Even when they came over to North America and the Native Americans were here. Hey, we're Christians. Are you guys Christians? Nah. Y'all should be Christians. Nah, we cool. Yeah, we about to kill y'all if y'all don't be Christians. Well, damn. All right. I guess we Christians then. You know, because they thought what they were doing was a noble thing. We're saving souls with our beliefs. And I feel America may be kind of treading on that with this whole American ideologies. We're trying to, hey, democracy is straight, man. Look how good we're doing. And low key, like if they had televisions that was looking at us the last year and a half, they'd probably be like, nah, we cool.
We don't want none of that shit.
Nah, we good, bro. Y'all wild over there, bro. Y'all wild over there. But I think there needs to be a time. There will be times where we need to intervene with stuff. And then there are times where we just need to let that country be that country.
Right. At this point, you gotta let Afghanistan play out, bro. Like you have to. Yep. And it sucks. It sucks because so much time, so many lives lost, so many dollars wasted, so much everything, planning, prepping, like the prepping part alone for these deployments, for anybody that's not in the military, the prepping is pretty much the worst fucking part of a deployment because you spend days training, you spend days building shit, tearing it down, rebuilding it, putting it together, training for convoys. Like you spend so much time prepping, like all day, every day. That's all you do until you leave. You know what I mean? And like so much time just to get to the deployment. And then you get to the deployment, you make a difference. Is it a big difference? In some aspects, yes, it is a very big difference you're making in the world. And then years later, you see all that just, it's gone. You know what I mean? It's gone. There's nothing you can say to say that your time there was worth it if you were there. Like, there's nothing you can say, like, it makes you angry. You know what I mean? Like, because all that time spent is now just gone. And it probably wouldn't be as big of a deal if we'd have got out of there the right way. You know what I mean? Like if there was a smooth transition to where they could take care of themselves properly, it probably wouldn't be that big of a deal. We're out, the mission is done, we're good. We're Gucci there. You know what I mean? But we're not. So the whole ending, and I'll take a wrestling quote from Vince McMahon. All people will ever remember is the finish. That's all they're going to remember is the finish. Everything leading up to that is just its story, right? But the finish is what people are going to remember. And the way we got out of there was not good. It was definitely not good. And what's going on now is even worse. So it sucks, man. It really does.
I think that comes to another quote that we've probably heard in the military numerous times. 1,000 attaboys can be erased by one aw shit.
Yep.
And the world is watching the news, and they are watching one of the monumental all shits, quote unquote.
Yes.
That is out there. And before we move to the next topic, like I said, if anybody wants to join and share something with us, feel free to click the link. But I remember in Iraq, I was on TCN duty, and I was escorting a local national who was charged with going to get the laundry and all that stuff. So he spoke some English, enough to have like decent conversations, nothing too deep. But he started asking questions about my family, and I'm all super skeptical. Like, I don't know what he was going to like. This man in no way can reach and touch my family, right? Here in Afghanistan or Iraq where he was at. But the training we got, it's just like be on your toes, because they may try some shit. Asked about my family, and at the time it was just me, Apple, and my oldest, who was a baby at the time, and I told him about it. He wanted to see a picture. I had a picture in my little lanyard or whatnot. I showed him. He said I had a very beautiful family, and he told me he had a family too. And we got to talking, and I mean it wasn't a friendship, but it was cordial conversation. Like, I could tell he was a good dude. I don't know. I felt like he was a good dude. When it came time to drop them back off to get off, finish the escort, we were driving back. He was like, when Iraq becomes a good country again, you should bring your family out here to see the sites, the palaces, things like that. And this is in 2003. And I'm thinking maybe we can do that. I was like, you know what? When that happens, I'll be sure to come back and bring the family, and we will see all of Iraq has to offer,
Right.
And like, I don't even know if that individual is okay, if he's still alive, if he's still getting by, if his family's okay, so
right.
For people who have had that experience in Afghanistan, built up bonds, because now you go over there at TCN duty for like 6 months, working with the TCNs, the local nationals, and the DFAC and stuff. So you're going to build bonds. I've seen individuals sharing pictures with those that they've taken with those individuals, and they are in tears because they had bonds established over months of working and conversation and things with those individuals, and they're over here in the States not knowing if those friends that they made over there are okay. Yeah. Or looked at as traitors because they worked closely with the U.S. military.
Right.
So they're over here feeling some type of way, and I understand why they feel that way. And that is the hardest part of all of this, is knowing that innocent people who had nothing to do, who want nothing to do with the evil that is Al-Qaeda, Taliban, whatever you're calling it, the terrorist groups now,
right,
are now at the mercy of them. Kind of low key because of us. It's
yep.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
Yep, definitely.
But you ready to move on to the next topic? Kind of bring the energy back up a bit. Again,
yeah,
not trying to poo-poo, not trying to downplay this. It was a good hour discussion that we had, man. It's probably one of the best ones we had on the show. But we are going to move on to a lighter topic. Disney Plus picked up a new show last week, Marvel's What If. 2 episodes in. Last week it was Captain Carter. This week it was T'Challa as Star-Lord. You've seen both episodes. Tell me what you're thinking about it, man. Tell me what you're thinking about it so far.
So the first episode, I was really interested in, and even though like they catered more to the storyline of what Captain America was, told from a different light, it was really interesting. Granted, I would have liked Peggy Carter to have a little more cheeks animated, you know what I mean? But I'm not tripping off that. But it was, for all intents and purposes, the first episode I thought was really cool. But the second one, oh my God, they blew the doors off with the second one. The T'Challa Star-Lord. Oh my goodness, bro. I didn't think, first and foremost, when they announced it, I got emotional because it is the final performance as Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa, Great Britain's ass.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But I got emotional because it was Chadwick Boseman's final performance as T'Challa, not the Black Panther, but T'Challa. And I thought he did an excellent job in this show, because like you could feel the presence that he brought to it. I don't know if that sounds corny or whatever, but you could feel the presence that he brought, just like he brought it in the movie. You could feel his presence as T'Challa in this show. And even though he was playing a Star-Lord, him and Yondu was actually a really good pairing in this show. I enjoyed him and Yondu's back and forth and how he treated him like he would have treated Peter Quill. I appreciated it. And I won't spoil it, but because I know not a lot of people have probably watched it yet, but there is an appearance in this show that I was just like, holy fuck. What if this actually happened? Like, what if T'Challa was actually able to save the universe on that scale? And it made him like the ultimate superhero, really, because of what he was able to do with the person that was in that show and how it carried on and how they were able to be a team and then fight against one of the enemies in the show. And I think it was really well done. Episode two, if there are more episodes like episode 2, then this is going to be a really, really good show. Episode 1 was good. Episode 2, I was like, how the fuck did they pull this off? Because this was great. For all intents and purposes, episode 2 was great. So now I'm looking forward to episode 3. But I think they got to raise the bar, and that's going to be very hard to do because of what they did in episode 2.
Am I the only one who thought episode 1 was great?
No, I thought episode 1 was. I thought it was
from the
great.
Standpoint of women superheroes. Peggy Carter was doing work, like she.
Oh yeah,
was pushing the wigs back of Nazis so hard, and the kind of at the time how they look down on women as just, yo, you're just CSS, you're just admin, you're just this, that.
Right.
She jumped in there. She was like, bro, I'm the person that you need to win this war.
Right now.
You know, and she started doing work, and then old boy changed the script. And I liked how, because Captain America's my dude. Steve Rogers is my boy. He didn't have the serum, but he still had that fight in him. And Stark hooked him up with the suit powered by the Tesseract.
Iron Man. That made him the official first Iron Man.
Yes. Bro, all of that. I was all about it, my guy. And I wanted Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers was going to get them cheeks, man. But Stark came up there and was just like, blah, blah, blah. Oh, y'all can't do that. But like, why you hating, my guy? Like, I'm about to get these super cheeks. You know what I'm saying?
Real.
I'm about to get these super cheeks. I'm trying to see what that's like.
She about to get this super serum again. You know what I mean?
And everybody in here, like, they could have had a field day with her story. Bruh, it's like a 22-minute episode, guy. They're not doing a full movie. That's
right.
Why I was upset. Everybody's like, oh, man, it was too straightforward. Like, first of all, her episode, to me, was better than the first Avenger movie, because that isn't my favorite Captain America movie. It was kind of dry, all that stuff. I thought this one was better. This was also better than Captain Marvel and Black Widow, their Marvel standalone female superhero movies.
Exactly.
Captain Carter is what they need. I would not be upset if they did a live action movie. I know they won't, because it's a what if. But I thought episode 1 was great. Episode 2 was even better. Episode 2 was even better. I mean, by default, because of Chadwick Boseman, emotionally, I knew I was gonna tear up a bit. It wasn't like a sad boo, but like to hear him as T'Challa, it was good. And the sad part was, you can say, I don't know if you did, but his voice did not sound the same. I don't know if it's because he was weaker from the cancer. I don't know when he recorded it.
Yeah.
But I was just like, it doesn't sound like him in the movie. I know it's him, and I could just imagine him just toughing it out to give us this performance.
Right.
And I appreciated every bit of it.
Me too.
I don't see how they could ever bring him back in, animated or otherwise, if it's not Chadwick.
Right.
I'm sure they will. Somebody else will pick up and run with it, but Chadwick is T'Challa for me.
Yes.
It is what it is. Just like RDJ is Tony Stark for me. It's just, he's it. He's it. I will say I was shocked because Marvel figured out the only way that I would ever be cool with Star Wars. Marvel figured it out. Marvel must be watching the Smoke Pit. Marvel must be watching the Smoke Pit and be like, why does this man hate Star-Lord so much?
Oh, you have a disdain for him.
In the group,
guess what we're gonna do?
In the group, trying to win him over with these arguments, like, oh, his mom was killed by a god and all this other blah blah blah. Like, that's why he did what he did. And this man is so steadfast on his Star-Lord is trash. We got to do something.
Here's what we're gonna do.
Episode 2.
We're gonna put him in a scenario to where he cannot hate Star-Lord. That's what they said. All the writers came in a room and it was like, you see this man here? We have to make him happy. Run this episode. He'll love it.
You guys are welcome. I'm the reason the episode was what it was. I'm the reason. Shout out Tony Baker. Shout out Tony Baker. I'm the one that got that. I'm the one that got the reason. Star-Lord. Y'all out here enjoying Marvel's What If, huh? I'm the reason, Caesar. I'm the reason T'Challa out here being Star-Lord. I'm the reason that shit happened. But yeah, I don't want to throw spoilers out there. I don't want to ruin it because it just came out yesterday. Feel free to watch it. But the ending of that episode, what if I told you the ending of that episode low-key had me sympathize for Peter Quill as the Dairy Queen worker, not knowing what he was about to get into, because, like I said, Yondu picked up T'Challa.
Yep.
So Peter really had nobody to protect him and keep him safe from Ego. So I'm gonna just say that. And then the Watcher at the end was just like, that'll be a story for another day. I'm just like, oh my God. Because I would have loved to have seen that one unfold.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see that one unfold. But episode 2, not bad, man. I'm waiting on the one where I don't know what episode it'll be, but when Tony Stark is all about to get blown up by his bomb, like the opening of Iron Man, and Killmonger saves them. I'm ready for that one too, bro. I'm ready for that too.
Yeah.
But,
now, what they are saying is that this show is canon, and if you look on Disney Plus, they have a they have you know how they have like the new movies, the scrollers you scroll across. So in that order, this show is like right after Loki, I believe. It's right after Loki in canon. So
right.
It's interesting to see. No, it's after it's after Loki. So it's Loki, What If, then WandaVision, which is an interesting order that they put that in.
Marvel don't be releasing things in order anyway. Look at their last phase. No, it was all over the place. Man.
So they ordered all the movies on Disney Plus. They put them all in chronological order as they did.
But I'm saying when they release in theaters, it was all
right.
So
Yeah,
like,
it was.
Unless you bought them on Blu-ray as they were coming out, you had to wait till Disney Plus to be like, let me watch all these in order. And then it makes it's like a whole new movie series. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're just like, oh shit.
Well, but yeah, it's interesting that they have it in that order. Like it's right before WandaVision. So Loki happens before WandaVision in order. So that's it's kind of interesting that they put it where they put it. So I'm wondering how much of the new movies is it actually going to affect? Because we know Loki and WandaVision are both going to affect the storylines going forward. So how much of this is this show going to actually affect?
Right. I don't know, but like I said, I'm here for the ride. I know we talked about this on Saturday Night Nerds a couple episodes back. Shout out to SNN crew, Deontay, Tim Gordon, Emperor King,
shout out
Jackie Leach, Mike, Chase, the whole crew, man. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all support, man, and thanks for having us on the show. I like anything Marvel does, man. I'm there for it, man. And then I think a couple weeks from now we get a Shang-Chi Legend of the Ten Rings.
Yep.
Dope. Pitmaster Nick Smith, he was able to get an early screening of it. He didn't spoil anything. He just told me, like, you like martial arts, you like kung fu, you like Marvel, you like hand-to-hand, this the movie. And I'm just like,
I'm going to be in heaven.
I'm in there, my boy. I'm in there, my boy. Just let me know. Um,
All right.
so let's
I
move
fucked
to
with it.
another topic real quick before we do our top contributor giveaway for July that we 2 weeks behind on. I wanted to talk about the Malice in the Palace documentary on Netflix, but something new came up, crossed my eye. Did you know OnlyFans has been delivered?
I saw the news today.
They don't want the sexy sex stuff on their site no more come October 1st. They said October, new fiscal year 2022.
Ain't no more back shots.
Get that smut out of here. We ain't here for
Ain't
this.
no more back shots. Ain't no more you and your boyfriend charging people $59.99 to see y'all do 3 positions. It's over.
Nope.
It's over for you. Go back to your corner.
Yep.
Go utilize one of those internet services that also banned users like you. Y'all just had shit on deck that y'all ain't gonna be able to put out no more. God damn.
You better get out there, bro. If y'all just don't go on Pornhub with y'all stuff, man.
Pornhub don't even take them no more. You got to be verified now. That was last year. That's why they went to OnlyFans, because they couldn't do that shit on Pornhub no more.
Oh man. But the reason why they're getting away from this is because they're having a hard time trying to get legit investors to invest in their products, because they're like, bro, it's smut. I'm not investing in this. So they're just like, okay. You could still post nude material on there within their guidelines, but actual videos of sexual activity, no mas. When did they start this? In January, they had released a nudity-free app or website, whatever, streaming thing, called OFTV, which is OnlyFans Television, where it's like no nude stuff and all that. Right. They want to try to make it like Patreon. You know how Patreon is just like, bro, support creators, all that stuff, no nudity. You just come here for creative stuff. OnlyFans was only there because Patreon would not let people do sex stuff. That's where OnlyFans money and bread and butter was at. Now that OnlyFans is trying to turn into Patreon, don't you think people will just come to Patreon?
Yep.
Like, because now OnlyFans has that stigma. Because I know creators who are just like, hey, subscribe to my OnlyFans, see behind the scenes of me creating the content or creating these figures or creating this video. You know what I'm saying? For legit stuff. But the fact that you, like, I click on your link tree and I see a OnlyFans, I'm just like,
ain't going there.
What you doing? What you doing, bro?
I ain't going there.
I ain't clicking it, my guy. I ain't clicking it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Deontay in the comments saying OnlyFans is just Pornhub for rich simps. Facts. When there was sexy stuff going on there, I'm like, why are y'all paying to see a non-professional sex person have sex? Bro, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why they're doing it. I mean,
she ain't no pinky or nothing, but
if I was a less decent person, I would just share some links with you now of some free streaming sites you can go look at that probably have better quality material than what you're looking at on Pornhub, or not Pornhub, but OnlyFans. I'm a good Christian man, so I ain't gonna do that. You know.
Yep.
I don't know any of those sites that they be talking about, but I know they out there. I'm gonna just say that. I'm gonna just say that. But how do you what? I'm trying to understand the business mindset. Because if I'm already making this kind of money and I can't get more investors, but the investors I have, like if I invested in OnlyFans from the jump and they're just like, bro, we're making all this money based off sex-related stuff. Would you? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Would you go to them, Black, and be like, look at this smut. Give me my money back.
Hell no.
No, because you return like a motherfucker on this shit, man. Come on, bro.
Hell no.
What is we doing out here?
You better get Penny from the 9th grade ass back on here. I'm telling you that now. I need these off this money. Penny from the 9th grade is generating moolah, bro. That 9th grade science teacher is, huh?
Oh, okay. I was like the teacher, right?
No, I meant the 9th grade. The teacher, yeah.
Bro, you was about to get our whole show.
No, not the 9th grade student, bro. Hell no. Hell no.
Was y'all in the comments sweating too? Was y'all in the comments sweating? I was in this
shit.
Oh
shit. What are you doing?
SmokePit.
No, I meant the teacher.
Difficulties. With the elevator music played. Boy.
No, I meant the teacher. Shit.
Yes. Yeesh. Youch.
Friday night, come and take a load off. Welcome to the Smoke Pit.
The program you are looking for is no longer in service or has been disconnected. Bro, sweat like the Jordan Peele gift. Bro, legit. Well, it's been a nice run, guys. Oh, man. But yeah, it's getting late on this end. So let us roll over and give some merch away for July's top contributor. Now, if you're listening to the audio or you're watching this for the first time and like, how do I get in on this? All you got to do is join the Smoke Pit Podcast fan group over on Facebook. Not hard to find us. Go ahead, click a couple questions we just asked just to get a better feel of who we're letting in the group. Because when it was public, some people were coming in there causing a kerfuffle. And we don't want kerfuffles in our group, man. So we're just trying to make sure you're a legit person. Kerfuffle.
Yeah, kerfuffle.
Somebody, like one of the chiefs said it in our chief panel in our class today. But everybody was laughing. Yeah, all you got to do is join. We'll let you in. All you got to do is be an active member, man. Share some memes, share some posts, jump in, throw some jokes in there, contribute. You know what I'm saying? We're not asking for you to carry the group. But I mean, if you want, you can. And that's how you get into the top 10 contributors for the month. So let me go ahead and share this screen.
Who do we have this month? It's been a lot of posts this month too.
Bro, there have been common names staying at the top of the contributors. I think people know, like, let me get in here and possibly win some swag. So of course we got Rob Gibbons, Hugh Hill, Eric Johnson, Tim Deckard, Mikey P, Nick Smith, Deontay Lifter, Napoleon Gifford, Aaron Christoph, and Kia Morris. Those are our top 10 for the month of July. This is enable a 3-step randomness process certificate. Now we don't need to do all that.
No, we don't need to do all that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just pick a random name. Hopefully you guys can all see the names on here. I read them out loud. They up there. Let's go ahead and pick a random name.
Oh, I was on time.
And Mikey P.
Mikey P.
Mikey P is the winner. Shout out to Mikey P. We'll send him we'll tag him in something. Let him know, hey, bro, you want something? Peep the site, pick something. We'll send something your way. So again, shout out to everybody. Appreciate all the top contributors. Thanks for staying active in the group, keeping the group moving. Me and Black be busy, man. We can't get in there all the time, but you guys do a good job of keeping it moving, keeping it pushing, and keeping the group exciting and fun. And we appreciate you guys for that.
Hell yeah.
So that being said, let us roll into these final shots and thoughts. What you got for them, Black?
I wanna send first and foremost a very special shout out to the group. I haven't been here for a while, so this was my first smoke pit back. Thank y'all for holding down the group. Thank you, Mac, for holding it down. Thank D Nice for coming through and providing such a great show. That was fucking awesome show. That was an awesome show. You are more than welcome to come back. So I'll probably be reaching out here soon. But shout out to everybody that has been contributing to the conversations in the group. I did have to take some time off, go to New York. We had some family situations up there. So shout out to my sister-in-law, Raven, her and her husband, Kyle, because they graciously accepted us. Shout out to my father-in-law. Also, it was been a tough month, really, but we're over the hump. And I want to say to everybody, man, like, keep those you love close, please, because you never know when something's gonna happen. Life is really fragile. We're not promised tomorrow. That whole trip had me thinking about it. So I came back with a renewed sense of like what I wanted to do, podcast wise, music wise, everything. So keep those people close. If you have someone close in your life like that, man, tell them you love them every day, please. Because again, you never know when this train gonna stop. You know what I mean? So thank you to everybody. I appreciate you all more than you know. Listen to the people that send me well wishes and talk highly about my family, man. I really do fucking appreciate that more than y'all know. A lot of that shit got me through like there was some tough times there. So I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be back in the saddle, man. And it's only up from here. So I really do appreciate y'all. Thank you.
No worries, bro. You know, we got you, man. You need anything, you know, we here. Awesome support group. Like I said, we were able to get a show out, let you focus on family. We, you know, people willing to step up and chop it up with your boy and stuff to keep the smoke pit going. So make sure you reach out to D Nice, man. Told you she need to be on the network, bro. She need a show. She needs something.
Oh, hell yeah.
Entertaining AF. I just want to end with again, to those who have lost somebody serving in Afghanistan or in support of Afghanistan, for those who are hurt, for those who are confused and everything, we're here for you. If you don't want to post anything in the group, if you just want to direct message myself or Black, chop it up, we're here. You know, we don't want anybody to feel lost to a point where something bad may happen to yourself or others. So please reach out to me if you need somebody to talk to. I swear I'll listen. This isn't just lip service. I'm 100%
same with me.
I will take the time to listen. I know there's members in this group who will also take time to listen and stuff. So just know that you have a resource here at the Smoke Pit. Like it's not for game. I consider us a family, a real close-knit community. So if you need somebody to talk to, reach out to either myself or Black, or if you got a friend or somebody, just reach out to somebody. All right. So with that being said, and we got nothing else, I am the homie Mac, aka your boy.
And I am bred like a king, made as Kelvin Kaylee. Thank you guys so much for coming back to Smoke Pit episode 52 on this beautiful Thursday night. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Take care. Peace.
Welcome to the Smoke Pit. It's Friday night. Come and take a load off. Come sit in the Smoke Pit. It's time for us to show off. It's been a long week. Come relaxing, get some laughs in, and let's talk about these brackets. And while we at it, tell me whose man's is this? Cause I got questions. I'm hoping you can answer it. Get ready, cause you know we gon' talk a lot of shit. It's Mac and Mack. Welcome to the Smoke